Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope everybody had a great day. The market wasn't too bad, that's for sure. And we'll go over everything, see what's going to be popping for tomorrow and what's going to be happening. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. Please always do your due diligence. How is everybody? Luis Rodriguez, how are you this evening? And Laptop Travel, everybody else hopping on. How is everybody? And another great day. Hey guys, how about that Microsoft? I know Luis Rodriguez definitely liked it, but remember I was saying, hey, they all were kind of pulling back. It didn't end bad today, but that thing did look good, and look what it did in the after hours there. It went nutty. So that thing was looking good, and that's your SPY right there. It was down this morning, and then it curled back around, went back up. How are you, Janica? And Top Stocks Trader is Laptop Travel and Blue Collar Teamster and everybody else. Barbara and Doge Mama 9 and the rest of the crew. How is everybody tonight? And let's see what's going on with the market and what's going to be popping. And good old Nader, how you doing this evening as well? Nader from obviously from Trend Spider right there. He's been tuning in and asking about a few, and Barbara's right there and a bunch of people. So greatly appreciate everybody always. And let's take a look and see what we're going to be looking at tonight. That's for sure. And of course, our logic mark, we'll just start it right off with that. It actually was down in the after hours until just after it was closing, and it went up. So it actually closed up in the after hours as well. It obviously pulled back. It was over 2 cents at a couple times today. I know that it was opened at that 1.5. It got up to that 0.0235. And now it's at 0.0184. And I'll tell you what, it's not looking bad for tomorrow right there on that 20. And look at that curling up. So I think our logic mark is going to be looking good tomorrow, guys. I think tomorrow could be a good day. And remember what I was saying the other day, trade them smart, but they have been running multiple days. That's why I did say that. They do run up, pull back. And I know AGMH, there's bond in between it, but we'll just look at this because I was thinking about it. And this did it. It ran up and then pulled back. And I mean, it ran up really good into the 15s, but then it pulled back into the 9-10 cent area, and it is curling up. So it's another one of them things. You know it's topping out there, but it's going to pull back and go back up. I think you sell it once it tops out right there around the 50 and then play that curl back up. So I think, oh, thank you. Damn, Barbara, you're so good at that. Gentle reminder to put the chart up. Barbara's on point. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm looking at logic mark in this one, just showing it to myself. So let's go back over it. But anyway, logic mark, we'll look at it again. Looking really good right there. I still had it up on the Trend Spider, and there you go. It's looking really good. Look at it. It started to curl up just at the end of the day, and you know that the blue screen's our favorite, but the after hours on this is not as accurate. It did say it went there, but you can see the candles didn't change. And thanks again, Barbara, because I would have just kept on rolling there. And logic mark is curled up like that, looking way better right at the end of the day. And then it just jumped me into AGMH right there because I was saying these things can run multiple days, and it ran up to yesterday or 2 days ago, and then it ran up yesterday, topped out a little bit near that 50, and that's what I was saying. I think you play them at that top up here, so that's what we'll be looking at logic mark. I think we're about to get a boom on it, guys. So, and then they pull back, and then I think you play it again on the curl back up. So I think that's the way you should. I would think to play them. Obviously, you trade them how you like them, but that's what I'm just looking at. And Logic Mark could be doing something very similar to that. That's exactly why I'm pointing it out. I'm not saying it's exactly going to happen, but look at that setup and look where it's heading. And like I said, it looks way better. That candle's green and it closed up today. And again, it shows it right there. And I actually talked to Finviz. Check this out. I didn't do it on here. Let me look, guys. Hold on a second. I actually talked to them today. I talk to them pretty often, I guess. Now I talk to everybody. But anyway, let's see something. Ready? He was telling me to do this and then go on here and then do this and then go like this. Watch this, guys. This is going to be pretty cool. And watch that. boom. Oh, it was already. Oh, I guess I was already saved it on my thing. It was already done from my phone. That's right, because it's all hooked up and probably all together. Now I got two MACDs. I can erase one. But anyway, look at that, guys. Look how awesome this is going to be, guys. I mean, that's Forex, but crypto as well. And I guess I just have to go through them all and just set them. I guess got to make it interactive. They're already all done with the MACD and RSI. Look how awesome that is. So yeah, our crypto look we can get on these charts now and have the RSI and MACD. Tell me how great that is. So yeah, they do have that available now too. How do you like that, guys? So yeah, it's you just have to know how to get there, and I don't think anyone knew. I don't even know what the I didn't even notice there was two different things. So if you see static, whatever, that's what it's usually on, and then you hit that, and then your settings tab was right here. And again, I had no idea, but there you go. So that is going to make things way better as well, because now watch this. Just, I know we're jumping all around real quick, but it's kind of fun, and just some new stuff going on here. And there you go. So now we have Solana charts right there with our RSI MACD from the FinViz look, and then we also have our Coinbase or our TrendSpider look. So that's definitely sweet, guys. So we'll have to be taking advantage of that. And yeah, I just talked to them, and like I said, they think like in the next 3 weeks or so, they think that they'll have the after hours candles, right? I don't know what's taking so long, but clearly they're having an issue, and they obviously know about it. So but yeah, I've been in contact with them and just trying to get that figured out too. But yeah, remember I was saying that would be cool if we could get that, and we got it. So I guess it just pays to ask and nag people a little bit sometimes, and they do things. But anyway, yeah, FinViz stepping it up right there, and you guys know I love my TrendSpider. So between the two sharp tools right there, I think they're the two sharpest tools that you need to have in your shed. At least I like to have. So you can tell what I do, and I pay for them both, and boom, there you go. So anyway, we'll keep on cruising anyway. And BON, I just wanted to show you guys that something cool, but there is BON, and again, your RSI, MACD, and that's really all I look at, and just the charts. And I do like to look at a lot of data. I mean, I like to look at least 6 months, but I can go back and just look at this chart real quick and see everything going on and know what's happening there. And you guys know that, but just explaining anybody new tuning in. And the watch list we go through is compiled by ones that everyone wants to look at. I kind of cut out a few of them that were just like flat or whatever. And I think we're going to really attack like the real big poppers. So we'll really focus on that and really fine tune into the scanners and stuff like that. So an FFAI right here, I know I'm jumping around, it was down a little, but I'm telling you, watch this thing get set back up. It's going to get rocking and rolling. It's just stair stepping its way up. So I think that thing's going to get cruising really soon right there. But anyway, let's get cruising right through our list. No more flying around all over the place. That was all kinds of everywhere. And I mean, my brain's a little scattered. We just had a T-ball game. I thought it was like a full moon. I wasn't all the code. We were like, what is going on? The kids were like throwing dirt in the air, getting it in their eyes. We're like, guys, can you stop throwing dirt? And then they're doing that. It was insane tonight. I don't know what happened, but it was still fun. But the first two innings were a little bit crazy. I'm not going to lie. And it was like every kid, you just couldn't get them under to pay attention. I'm not even, they were like, their turn to go. And they're like, not wanting to go or do anything or listen. It was crazy. But anyway, it was a good time, and all the kids made it out there alive. They're actually hitting really well. I have to say, the kids have been hitting and even fielding pretty well when they're paying attention. And but the hits have been great. I mean, most of the kids are hitting it past the pitcher's mound and T-ball. They're like 4 and 5 years old. Some of the kids are really reaching like the outfield, like the grass line and stuff, and past the bases. So pretty impressive to see that, because in the beginning, I don't think there was only like 1 or 2 of them that could really hit. And now they're all stepping up. Even my little guy, he's one of the younger, smaller guys on the team, and he's hitting the ball right up to the pitcher's mound now. So good stuff and fun times coaching the little guys. But yeah, BON, I think this thing is getting set back up, guys. Keep an eye on this thing. This BON, I don't think it's done yet, to be honest with you. It popped up a little bit yesterday, had a little pullback onto that 20. I am going to be watching this on tomorrow and see what it wants to do, because I think that one does look good right there, BON. And I looked at that MAGH or AMGH or what, AGMH, if I could do it right. And I already looked at that. I was just talking about it again. I think you have a little bit of pullback here, and I think we're going to be getting set up. Look at this. So I think it might be one to keep an eye on for tomorrow again. And obviously, we were watching for that little bit of pullback right there. And let's see if it curls up. I think they're going to, and maybe it tries to shoot out of this 50 at some point, because they do look good. And if it does that, that 50 is all the way at 16 cents. You got to remember where this came from, all the way down here at like 3 cents and lower. It was 2. And I'm telling you, that logic mark looks pretty similar. We had this as well. So it's not like we weren't all over this one, but I'm just telling you, this one already popped up, pulling back already. Logic mark looks like it's ready to go. And that kids was just hopping around a little bit today. It was up a little, down a little, but not looking bad. It's still crossed through right there, and we'll see what it has in its tank tomorrow for KIDZ. It does appear that it wants to try to go up. You could always see a little bit of pullback. We already know that can happen at any moment with any of these things, but it does appear it wants to go up, and that bottom came in. So we will be watching. It looks like that bottom happens right there. And yeah, KIDZ is another good one we've been watching, and this DMN has been halted today. I don't know what the heck happened, but they definitely stopped it, because it is not moving. That's yesterday's date, April 29th, right there. And yeah, it didn't even move today. And again, this day, we were watching this day. I bet a couple people could be even stuck in it. And I have no idea what happened, why it's halted, or what's going on. If anyone does know, let us know, and I'll let everyone know. Volume on NASDAQ was the third highest in history on Tuesday. And remember, we were talking about, it was the third highest in the history on Tuesday. Guys, we had every single one of them on our watch list. That's insane. It was the third highest volume in the history of Wall Street and NASDAQ. We had every single one of them. How crazy is that? I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, it was insane. Remember, we had, ready? Logic Mark, LGMK, DMN, WW, BON, GNLN, AGMH, and PTPI. Every single one of them's on the watch list from the night from before. And yeah, it was insane, but I didn't realize it was the third highest in the history of the NASDAQ was Tuesday for volume. And Logic Mark and they all had almost 3 billion in volume yesterday. It was completely nutty. This one had almost 3 billion. Logic Mark almost had 3 billion. I mean, you're talking wild numbers. I didn't even think about that. It was that high, but wow. And we had every single one of them on the watch list. So there you go, guys. That's why you listen to the show. And again, you can't even trade them all, nor do you even want to. How would you trade all them in one day? Your head would explode. But all you needed was one of them, 2 of them if you wanted. And we had all of them. What was there, 6 or 7? So pretty wild right there. Here's this BDRX. Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye, see if it jumps up tomorrow, and it is hooking up really good though. I mean, it just keeps falling down and then trying to, maybe it's after tomorrow it tries to run up. So I'm gonna give it another day or so to keep it on the watch list and see if it wants to move. It looks pretty good right here, so it keeps running up and coming back down. But like I said, it had been setting up for a while, and it had a pretty big channel right there, but clearly your 50's coming way down. I mean, when we were starting to look at it, it was looking good. Your channel was up here at like 223, and now you're in like the lower 2s. That's how quick it came down like that. But anyway, still might be a potential one, BDRX, and this hit another one. It looked like it tried to move in the after hours. It's just kind of sitting there. And again, I was just looking at them to see if they want to pop. The 20's coming down, so maybe they lose the list, and we don't really have to worry about them. So again, I'm just trying to fine tune it so we know exactly what's popping and what's not. And again, you never know when it's going to be the next third highest volume day on NASDAQ's history, and we're going to have every single one on that list the night before. So you're going to know exactly what's popping. And it was wild. I mean, holy cow, just logic, all of them. It was crazy. This thing's getting to be crazy. And to get Trump Jr. had posted out about this thing the other day, and you can see he joined the board or something. He's been joining the boards of all kinds of companies, and they've been flying all up. And the guy Ben from the story trading, he actually alerted us that morning, right around and down here, and it jumped up pretty big. And it actually looks like it could be curling back up. And remember, we were looking at it yesterday. It did pull back, and I said, let's see if it kind of bases out down here. And once the curl back up, it'll probably be a pretty good opportunity. And I think it might be a pretty good opportunity. So, let me. I'll go through this and I'll read that. Deep Soul Diving said something about the DMN halt, and I'll read it. But yeah, you can see it's trying to make a base right around here, and we'll look tomorrow. We'll see if it comes down any and wants to roll off. It's not looking terrible. And like I said, it looks pretty good right there trying to run up. So we'll look at it to see if it wants to pop back up and have another run right there. And Deep Soul Diving said that DMN halted for a reason. T12 info pending. A lot of new shares released and reports filed. So don't know when the halt lifts. So yeah, that's pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that we do have the PTPI on here, but if we don't, we'll go over it twice. We'll go over this right now and later. But yeah, remember this morning, guys, we looked for that bounce. It bounced. Laptop Travel smashed this thing this morning, guys. He loved it. It was a beauty, guys. And it went from what, 1 to almost over 2.5 right there. Are they reverse splitting tomorrow? That says. Because that's going to be crazy if that's the case. Does that really reverse split tomorrow? I'm not even sure if anyone knows, but it says it right there. This is usually pretty damn accurate too. So I'm guessing it does. And let's see real quick. But yeah, it did run, and I'll tell you what, it's getting set up. So if it's going to reverse split tomorrow, that's going to be even, reverse split 1 for 25 tomorrow. Laptop Travel just said. So I would say so. And yeah, I am going to say that this thing and Viking and SLN, both potential takeover targets. Yeah, Luis Rodriguez was saying both of them. We'll go over them. So, yeah, we're all over the place tonight, but don't worry. Just stick with us, and we'll pick out all the poppers like we did the other night when all 7 of them or whatever. It was the 3rd highest in NASDAQ's history. I don't even believe that, but I do because it was wild, but that's pretty crazy. I didn't even know that happened. If that was the case. But anyway, let's get back to this because this is what's important right here, because this is reverse splitting tomorrow. Looking really good, honestly. 2 reverse split and set up. So we're going to look for a little bit of pullback right here on that reverse split. And then obviously we're going to take a look at it tomorrow morning. So there's your PTPI. So yeah, that's on here. And I forget who even just mentioned that thing. I don't even know where it's at. Sorry about that. But yeah, somebody had said don't forget about it. And yeah, it just caught I don't even see where that is. That's so bizarre. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, thank you. And I think it is on the list. And again, we'll hop back to the list. We were doing CLBR and this UOKA right here. If I type it in right. Well, let me see. Let me go the other way. Now let me make it a little bit bigger so I can see. And this thing's been crazy. And again, this thing, we love this. This stock has been wild, and it's going to curl up right here. So watch for it to run back up into this 20. And it does get through the 20 to the 50, as you can see, as history has showed you a million times before. It does repeat. So I think it is curling up. I'm not sure if it's going to go through the MACD just yet, but it is curling up, and probably we'll see a little pop up there. And what was that clue doing today? I forget. It was down. It looks like it was down the after hours. So we might not worry about this too much as it's pulling back right there. And we were just seeing if it wanted to get curled up and run. So maybe by next week, we won't really pay much mind to this guy, but you can see it rolled up there. We'll see if it runs back up right there. It is crossed up and wants to roll off. It could be a good opportunity coming back to the 20 if that curls up, because again, that 50 is not too far off, because now it's coming down. And then obviously in between that and the next trend line is like mega amounts of room. So it could just get crazy. And we know that these China ones do. And I'm betting, if we see some kind of tariff deal or some kind of deal going on, you could see these things pop off and get really wild. And I'm thinking that we're going to see something sooner than later. I don't think Trump wants to lose the economy. You can see these things pulling back, but still staying up today. And then I think they're going to have to start doing something. Let's put it that way. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Clue for a little longer. That LICN, that was pulling back a little. That's a China small cap. And that HEPA right here was down a little bit. Really not doing much. And I don't know why I keep doing that, but yeah, it's just making that base down there. And we'll have to see when it really wants to get curling up. But HEPA is not showing us just yet. So keep your eye on it, and we'll see if it does want to roll up there. And good old OCGN. I mean, this thing we already know is about to go up, guys. So I think you guys know that that's about to pop up some more. And just watch for any dips or anything. But that's about as good as you can make a call right there. So I think you guys are excited about that one. If you were following along from like the beginning of the year, and we tracked it down to the very bottom there and then said the thing was going to reverse up, and it sure as hell did. It's a beauty, and it's going to keep going. I have no idea what's going on. And we mentioned that the other day that they were doing something. They were presenting something, and I'm not going to worry about that. But anyway, I'm telling you, it looks really good for OCGN. And that was a good one right there. ICON, and it's still cruising right there in a bullish trend. And ICON was trying to curl up there, and it fell off today. I don't know what the heck it did. It said it went back up, though. I wish I would have been able to see that in the after hours here. Let's see. It's at 202 right there. This says it was at 208. I'm not sure. It's probably right around there, though. And we'll see if it got a little bullish in the after hours like LGMK did. It could get cruising, guys. It's been getting set up right here. I'm actually surprised it didn't run. And look at that hook right there. So maybe today was that little dip and rip look. And yeah, Icon could get cruising right there. And let's see. And that PTPI would have to get to $1 due to the NASDAQ notice. So when is their listing requirements? So yeah, that'll definitely get real interesting right there for that one, that PTPI, especially if they're reverse splitting right there and they have to get up to that dollar. It's at 1 penny right now, and they're going to reverse split it tomorrow. See where it jumps up to. It's what it was it they said what it was, I forget. 1 for 25, so it's not really diluting it much, and it is setting up, guys. Look at this thing. It's going to be a runner after a reverse split. So we'll be keeping an eye on that PTPI, that is for sure. And let's look at ALLR. This was looking pretty good today, and we liked it last night. And look at it continuing its way up. It does look like it's trying to jump into that, well, not into the top, but get to the top. But that setup's really good right there, guys. You can see it's setting up. So keep an eye on ALLR. And another one we had liked last night, and it was cruising up today. And good old Wang and Lee right here just been hanging out. They're not doing a whole lot. I'm not sure if it's waiting for that 20, but it's up there at that 21 cents. It looked like it tried to bottom the other day, and we'll see what good old Wang and Lee want to do tomorrow. If it wants to get moving, again, it just needs to curl up right here, get onto that 20. It's not far away, and that thing will be popping up there. So we'll be watching good old Wang and Lee. And FFAI, I think we already looked at it for a brief second, but let's look at it again. It did run up there, and it might pull back a little bit as it sets up, but not the end of the world if it does. And Nader did like this thing, and look at that run up right there, 154, 157. It did come back down, and like I said, maybe it even pulls back down a little lower, so watch it, but you'll see how it ran up, and it'll probably come down and roll right off the MACD to run up. It just following that pattern that we love so well. So that's how you trade that one right there. And again, it does run, it likes to run 100% in the month of May, according to Nader's TrendSpider seasonal chart that he ran, that scanner. I mean, he ran it, and look what happened. He ran it right down here, guys, and I'd say it ran up pretty well. I mean, there's no doubt in that one right there for FFAI. And let's see what LRHC was doing today. It was pulling back a little bit, and it just didn't want to get through that 20. It's making a little base, and we'll see. It did pop through, so we'll see if it's just a little bit of pullback here to try to roll off this MACD. Look at it. We'll have to take a look at it because it did cross through, which was nice, but it didn't want to get through that 20. But it doesn't look like it's terrible, so we'll keep an eye on LRHC, see if it wants to get set up. And OCEA right here was looking pretty good today. Let's see what it's doing right here. And yeah, that thing it did curl down, but it looks like it's trying to make that curl up right there. Let's see. OCEA, what do they only have the warrants on here? That's right there. Can't be an OTC here. But maybe it is. I don't know. But it's on here. So let's see if it's not coming up. I don't know. That's weird. Come here. Hold on. What is going on here? We'll start. Oh, there it is right there. OCEA. Yeah, look at this thing trying to curl back up right there. I would say keep this on your list for tomorrow. OCEA. It is looking pretty good. And let me find where it's at right there. And I think I already did ALLR. I put it on there twice, and I put Wang and Lee on there twice. I don't know what that. I told you it was a crazy T-ball game, guys. I just can't start writing them all twice. So there's two of them right there. We don't have to do a second time. And let's look at Onco. But yeah, keep an eye on this OCEA. Look at that setup happening right there. And Onco right here, ONCO. This one had a little bit of pullback, had been running up. But look, this is another one that has that same look as that AGMH and your LGMK. So you might want to keep an eye on this. And I mentioned it the other day, and it did run up a little bit of pullback. And I think we may have another roll off there. So another one to keep an eye on for tomorrow, ONCY or ONCO and DGLY. Let's see what that's doing. Digital Ally, because this was cruising around this morning. I know that. And it's the same situation right here. Look at these things. They were in the basement. They came out. They're just taking their time, but they're running up, guys. And they're not bad to look at and try to trade, especially when the market's all crazy and you're not sure exactly which way they're going. These ones are consistently running up and pulling back, so you can kind of find where they're at. But I mean, look at that thing, the low at 3 and high at 5. You can kind of trade these things right around and then find where it's going to really try to pop. So DGLY not looking bad to set up. And how about that PTPI? We only looked at it like 4 times already tonight, but there you go. And obviously there it's on the list, and we're going to look at it tomorrow. And Holo right here was down $1.05. I was looking at Holo, and let's just see when it wants to bottom out. It was coming up to that MACD. What it do in the after hours? Not a whole lot. I was wondering if it was going to pop up there and get through, but it's not right there. I'll look at Holo tomorrow, see what that wants to do right there for sure. TMDE, this was been a good one, but dipped down today. It had run up the last few days, pulled back a little bit, well, a little more than a little bit right there. It did pull back 173 to 179. Now it's in the 140s again. And what was it the other day? It was in the 134s. I was going to say it was right around there, I thought. And yeah, there you go. So it is pulling back, and we'll see what this TMDE wants to do. It is a brand new one, and it did have a nice bottom run up, so I'm assuming it's going to pull back and then try to stair step up is what I'm assuming, but it doesn't have much data to go off of. I'm just looking at the candles and projecting what it wants to do right there. TMDE, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that. And this DNN, this is that uranium one in Canada. It was just pulling back a little bit. And I think this is going to get set up again. Look at that 20 rolling up there. So keep an eye. They do have earnings next week, and we'll see. I went through the uranium ones, and nothing real crazy going on. So I'll look at them tomorrow and see if anything looks any better. It wasn't like a real crazy day, but things were starting to move in the after hours, like Microsoft and stuff like that. So they were obviously down in the morning and then started to work their way back up. And this Viking was a good one right here. This was up today, and this thing does look better. And Luis Rodriguez was saying earlier that they were talking about a potential takeover. Um, will Pfizer will Pfizer will acquire? That's pretty wild. I don't think they looked at that when they did it, but will Pfizer acquire? Looks like my brain was right in this. Will Pfizer will acquire? Will Pfizer acquire Altimmune or Viking? Remember, we were just looking at its. Remember, I'd mentioned Altimmune and it's a obesity pill before ALT. I know I've mentioned it. So yeah, let's look at it real quick. But Viking looking pretty good right there, we must say. And here's that Altimmune one. And remember, we've talked about it before and saw it. And this is not looking bad either. So might want to keep an eye on ALT as well. And we can add it right to the list with that other one that we were just looking at. What the heck was it that I was just talking about? Viking, VKTX. And yeah, this one looks like it has some potential to run up as well. So keep an eye on this one. And we had traded this before and it dipped down. It had looked good before and then it started to pull back a little bit more, but not looking bad right there as it's been running up the last day or so, last couple days. VKTX and again ALT. And what other one did SLN right here? Silence Therapeutics. And we'll see what's up with this one. This one isn't looking bad either. You can see it has like that same chart look. So yeah, keep an eye on that as well. SLN right there. So we'll keep an eye on these guys and see what they're doing. But you can see that wants to run up some more tomorrow. And yeah, ALT, SLN, and that Viking right there, all looking pretty good. And how about Hims and Hers? Let's look what that's doing. And it is not a sex toy company, but it is doing something and it's coming down. That's what it's doing. And it has earnings coming up on Cinco de Mayo, but that's going to be a party. And let's see what's happening. Oh, wow. Barbara said it was spot on with I got to read that. Spot on with VVOS. It pulled back. She added the dip, and then it popped up for a decent gain. Look at that. We'll look at it next. Hims and Hers, though, look at this. Ran up yesterday, and then it's pulling back. I think it's got a little bit of pullback look right there. We'll have to see what it looks like tomorrow morning right here as it's hitting this 50. And it had that Pac-Man look right there. So maybe it does come down a little more. It did run up pretty well yesterday, remember? And so, yeah, we'll take a look at that. And that VVOS, there you go. It was up 20 cents. It did kind of pull back. And that thing does look pretty good. VVOS right here. Vivos Therapeutics. I do remember looking at this 251 to 292. That was its low right there. And it closed at 270. So there you go there with VVOS. And we definitely looked at that. Barbara asked about it. So there you go. And that looks like it could be a nice little momentum play for you guys in the morning. So keep an eye on that one as well. And let's go back, and we are just jumping all over the place, and it's kind of fun, so let's keep doing it. And WW, this was another one that we were looking at as a momentum play from yesterday and the day before. And there you go. It did jump up more today, 79 to 113, and it closed at that 73 right there. It is not. It's just getting into the top right there, but it did pull back a little in the after hours, and that doesn't show the exact chart. I'll have to look at it in the morning. We'll see. Obviously, will it run up more? I think it might have been topping out. You can see how it hit that 200 and got through it today, and probably bouncing back down, but we'll see what it looks like in the morning for WW. It's just a hard one to tell at the moment. And how about that Z car right there? We liked that last night. And there you go. Look at that. It was popped up in the after hours and looking pretty good. So there you go. It's ZCAR. That was on the list. And that one did run up there. And Zoom car 387 to 540. It closed at 490. So that was a nice one. And look for that momentum as well. But yeah, that was on there. And I think Web Bull might be getting set up here. It was down a little bit. And it's coming down to that 200. I'm not sure if it even had 200 days because it's brand spanking new. So I'm not exactly sure. It did have all this, but I'm not. It was like it just started up. So almost like a shell company. And let's see what's going on here with our web bull pulling back. I've been watching it. I'll look and see if it bottomed out. It looks like it's trying to bottom out. Let's put it that way. I'm not convinced it's ready to pop yet and run like a bull, but I will keep an eye on it for sure to just see what's going on with web bull and when it's going to be a better opportunity. And AREB, this American Rebel Holdings, this one could get curled up, and like we keep saying, they pop up here and then they come back down a little bit, and look at it trying to roll off that MACD, guys. I mean, this thing's in a great spot. I think I gotta look at this tomorrow morning for sure. Look at that thing trying to roll. And it looks a little more flat in the after hours, I'll say, but I could see that thing rolling right up there. What's it, 331? That's what it says right there. And it's getting to be in a good spot, and they're meeting up. So maybe a day or so, but I don't even know. It does want to get curled up right there, AREB. We definitely have to keep an eye on that one. And our green lane, I noticed, remember, guys, watch for the pop in the morning and watch for it to go down lower. What did it do? Boom, it popped up this morning, and then it went down. So if you're going to play these guys, you do have to play them accordingly. And it's not ready yet. And I was saying that, but it's going to run up and then dip down some. And I'm waiting to see if we get it under a penny. That's what I'm waiting for. That. So I'll be waiting to see if this bad boy can get under a penny and see what's going on there. So let's see what's happening. And I see Michael Anthony's on, and I see you posted a bunch of stuff. I just noticed that. I'll go through everything and talk about it all. So we'll make sure we go through everything that you guys are looking at and on the list. But yeah, green lane right here just pulled back, and like I said, let's see if we can get it under a penny. That would be sweet. We'll see how low it wants to go. That's what we're looking at with that. And you can play the pops. It was curling up. It popped up this morning, then came back down. So again, I'm just waiting to see when it's really ready and how low it wants to go. This NVNI was popping up there today, and I'm not sure if we looked at it yesterday. I forget. I think someone did mention it. I don't really remember because it did have some momentum going up there, and it did pop up 26 to 55, and it's at 49. It's hitting that 50 right there pretty good, but it does look like it has some good momentum going into tomorrow. So we will look at that NVNI and take a look at that in the morning, obviously, to see if it wants to keep that momentum. And GCTK right here, GlucoTrack. And that was running up this morning as well. It says it closed up right there. Let's see. It was running up pretty good, 26 to 29. Its low is 16 and then closed at 18. So it did run up a little bit and then pulled back. So again, you do have to trade these things pretty smart right here and usually pretty quick. Some of these better setups are running a few days, but once they get up there, guys, it's a crapshoot. They run up and they'll pull back really good. So you're probably better off just locking in profits and sitting there waiting for the best opportunity again. And Linkage Global LGCB right here. And this thing is getting curled up. I think you might want to keep an eye on the old Linkage Global LGCB, looking really good right there, I must say. So I would keep an eye on that bad boy. That's looking really good, I would say. And let's see what it looks like over here. Yeah, it still looks pretty good. Did pull back a little bit, closed at that 181, but not bad. Did say pull back 10 cents. You're not going to see that reflection, but it does look pretty good. I'm definitely looking at that tomorrow to see if it does want to curl back up and cruise along. And let's see how bold this one is. It is cruising up there. It's pretty bold, moving up 10%. And Boundless Bio, BOLD, is cruising right along over that 50. Let's just see in the after hours. Yeah, you might have to look at this one for some momentum as well. BOLD. And that is not looking bad. And how about this interactive strength one? I know we've looked at it before, TRNR, and it does look like it was trying to move today. I know we haven't looked at it in a little while right here. Well, let's see what it's doing. Interactive strength. TRNR, and it did just come down to that bottom right there, 2 cents. It ran up 16 in the after hours, so you could see it bounced off that bottom, which is a good look. It did cross through, and let's see if it can get moving in through that channel again and into the 120 area. So maybe it's trying to bottom out right there for that TRNR, and it did kind of pull back a lot down here. It bottomed out, ran up, and let's see if it wants to do it once more. Maybe it doesn't run as high, but maybe it runs around into the 270s or something like this, and then comes back down or something. So we'll look at this one. I'll keep it on the list. It caught my eye today, and I said, oh, let's check that out and see if it wants to run up like that. So I'll look at it and see if we can get a good grip if it wants to do that. And, it'll be a nice play if it does. And TNFA right here, TNF Pharmaceuticals, looks like it's trying to curl up there. Let me just see. I mean, it's a little bit flat, but let me take a look. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking bad right there. Has that weird look, 19 and 19, almost open and closed in the same spot. Coming off the bot, it appears it wants to roll up. I'd have to look at it tomorrow, I think, to get a better idea. But it does appear that it's trying to curl up right there. So I don't know what I just did. Is that the right one? I think I just went off of the thing. There we go. I'm back on it now. That was weird. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, that's it. Let me flip that around and let me make sure. Okay, that's good. And yeah, TNFA. So yeah, let me just look at that one tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow. I'll take a better look at it. You can't really tell. And what's a CCCC? C4 Therapeutics right here. And let's see, this one's making a nice base and trying to curl up. This is not looking bad right there for the letter CCCC. There's 4 C's right there. And look at that momentum, 155 to 173, and it closed up there. So you might want to keep an eye on that thing, the CCCC. And SXTC is a small cap China one. I know that. Let's take a look at it. China Pharmaceuticals, that's what it is. And let's see what it's doing. It's right in that channel right there, SXTC. Up 14 cents, down a little in the after hours. It's sitting right on the 20 right there. Now let's really look at it. Sitting on the 20 right there, a little bit flat. It could take time to set up for that one. I don't know if it's exactly ready just yet for SXTC. And this PRSO, somebody was talking about this one, and it did run up in the after hours. Oh, it's been running up, but you can see it's setting up, and it does. It looks like it wants to run up into that top really well. So, yeah, you might want to keep an eye. Oh, we just looked at this, that PRSO, Paraso. We were just looking at it right around here. I remember it just got over to 50. And it is looking pretty good right now. So it had a nice pullback dip right there. And I would watch it 109. It did pop up to 110 right there. And so, yeah, I would keep an eye on that PRSO. That is not looking bad. IBO, what's that doing? Impact Biomedical. Let me see what IBO is doing. And that's not looking bad on that trend line. Getting to be in a pretty good spot right there. The 20's right there on 51. It's at 42. And what I say was IBO. Oh, we're already on it. And yeah, it's not looking too bad. It's trying to curl up right there. It looks like it's trying to get in a good spot too. I'll take a better look at that one tomorrow, IBO, and see what that wants to do, unless it pops in the morning, but I'm not exactly sure. And good old Snap right here. I think this is Snapchat, isn't it? I would think it is. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It popped up a dip today. It was hitting that resistance right there. They had earnings yesterday, and you can see it did come down $1, pulling back a little bit. And obviously, you know that they like to pull back to that MACD and roll right back off. So it did pop up with the earnings, pull back there, and that's the look that you're probably going to see is the roll off the MACD, and that's just some pullback on it. And NAOV right here. Nano Vibranix or something like that is pulling back. That's coming down, and then it looks like it bounced off. I was going to say wait for it to bounce off of right here, but I'm pretty sure it already did in the after hours right there because it set it up there. And let's see. 372 to 540. It's at 515. So yeah, it definitely bounced off that trend line right there. And now it's at 525 or somewhere's in this area. So yeah, it's right underneath that 20 right there. You can see it hitting the 20. I would keep an eye on this NAOV. I think we looked at this recently and that popped up in the after hours. So watch that for some momentum in the morning. And CNTM Connect M Technology Solutions. I know we watched this a little while ago. I forget when it was, but they were running up. Obviously, everything was running up back in December. It was crazy. And now you got this thing trying to curl back off that MACD right there. So I would keep an eye on this. Look at it. It gets back in between that 50 and the 20. On top of the 20, it could jump back up. Generally, I don't like the 20 over to 50 a whole lot like that look, but that one could work right there for CNTM. I'd have to look at it to make sure. But LODE, good old load right here. Comstock, that's what that is. And let's see, that's a precious metals and mining hitting the 50. I would assume it's going to try to pull back at the moment just to set up a little bit better as it's hitting that 50. So watch for that one to maybe pull back as it gets set up. But that's LODE. I remember we looked at that before it popped up. And let's see what MSOS, the cannabis industry, is popping today right here. And this is the ETF. And I was look at that getting set up right there. And I'm pretty sure the new whoever it is, I forget what the hell his name is. The DEA, whatever the guy is, said that they might want to try to look at federally legalizing cannabis or doing something. I don't quote me on exactly what it is. Let me see if it says it on Canopy Growth right here. Let's see today. Oh well, Kramer called it its favorite pot stock, and then it crashed to 83%. So that's pretty funny. What the hell was it going on? Whatever it is. Yeah, something was happening today anyway with cannabis and good news. I forget what the heck they said. Of course, I don't remember anything. And but yeah, look at these things. That thing looks pretty good too. The weed Round Hill Cannabis ETF. We've gone through a bunch of them. Often YOLO's another one looking pretty good. So you know that we know all the cannabis ones. And again, I was looking, I forget what the hell happened today. It was something, but they are looking pretty good as they're running up there. What the? It doesn't really matter. Something happened. I know I saw something. And so, yeah, there you go. That's the cannabis industry looking pretty good right there. And there you go for them. And let me roll through and see what you guys were saying right here because there's all kinds of stuff. Thanks, stocking up for future. How are you tonight? And he was saying, along with Barbara letting me know that I didn't cross over to the charts, but we're all good. And then he wanted to see a few. So let's look at them couple. PSCA. Let's see what that's looking like. What is that one right there? PSCA. I don't even see that one. Let me know if it's something different. But STEM, I know, is one, and that one popped up. That could be a good momentum play right there. STEM. STEM Inc. Look at that. They had earnings, yesterday it looked like, and that thing's popped up there. So it looks like it's trying to get into the top. It's hitting the 200. So obviously be careful. Watch it in the morning, see if it's going to be one of them good momentum plays and gets into the top. And RGC, look at this guy, jumped way up there. And I would say that was a nice pop back up. RGC, didn't someone just mention this the other night? And there you go. So that is a good look right there. And that one did pop. And I would say, obviously, you can look at this for some momentum. Looks like it might have pulled back, but not much. So, yeah, there you go. That's another momentum play. And that PRZO right there, Parazero, that's an Israeli aerospace and defense. We've looked at this, and it is hitting that resistance up here. You have a little bit of room. It was up today, and in the after hours, it says PRZO. And oh wow, that does look like it has some movement in it. So yeah, see if it can get through that 99 right there. It's at 88 to 93 and not looking bad at PRZO. So there you go with them guys. And PCSA. Let's see. It's PCSA. Okay, that's why. And there we go. PCSA. That'll do it. And that one is not looking bad right there. I do like that look. And PCSA, there we go. Yeah, and the 20 trying to roll up. You'll probably get up a little bit. Could get over that into that 50 at 37 tomorrow. So I'd say that's a good one stocking up for future. And let's see that Microsoft and NAOV. I know that was running up there. So beauty's right there, and that FFAI not looking good, but or looking good, Nader. I was gonna say it's just pulling back a little bit, but yeah, that bad boy is gonna be. It may run that 100% in May. That'll be crazy. How about if it does? We're definitely going to be watching it, and people are going to be traded. You know that. And AZTR, who said this one, blue collar teamster, this one looks pretty good in that little Pac-Man look right there, trying to get shot up. So let's look at it in the after hours. I can't say that looks bad at all. AZTR. Let's keep an eye on that guy tomorrow. That's another good one, blue collar teamster. And Luis Rodriguez, thank you very much. So yeah, a couple people were saying that they couldn't see the chart, so thank you everybody. And let's see, PTPI, we did it a few times, and the DMN halted because of that 10 or 12 T12 info pending. And that's what Melissa was saying, that, and Deep Soul Diving. So thank you, Melissa. And Deep Soul Diving, I had read that, and we're not sure exactly when that's going to be. And that PTPI does reverse split tomorrow, 1 for 25. And Viking SLN and SLN looking really good right there. And let's see what's BlackBerry doing, BB. Let's see what they're up to at the moment. Let's see BlackBerry. And that could be a good time to get back in. Let's see. It's dipping down a little bit flat right there. Let me take a better look at BlackBerry over here. Let's see. Let's make sure it's getting to roll up right there. It doesn't look bad, but it could take a little more time. You can see the 20. It's a little flat. I'll look at it tomorrow. How's that? We'll look at that tomorrow, Luis Rodriguez. It could be right around there. Just see if it pulls back a little bit down into the 330, 320 area, get a better price action. But BlackBerry could be getting set up. And let's see what Lulu's doing in Elf. There's some beauty ones. Lulu down. This thing's going to get set up right here. Actually, it'll probably go and pop up there and then come back down to get set up off of that area. So that's what it looks like at the moment anyway. And it did open and close right around the same spot there, not too far off. And yeah, we'll take a look at that. And again, it does look like it could run up. We'll have to look at Lulu to get a better look. How about that Elf Beauty product? And that thing had run up there. I remember we were looking at it down there. It ran up. It's basing out right here. And I mean, it could curl back up. You can see this thing wants to. These two are a little bit tough tonight just to get a idea. Look at that look right there. So I'd have to look at them tomorrow. They're not looking bad. I just have to get a better idea. Didn't NOC dip down real good? Oh yeah, look at that thing. Northrop, I remember this did. And it's been running up. It has some good support there. And look at this big curl up. So I don't know. That 20's coming down. You might get a run up to here and get pushed back down again on NOC. And that's what it looks like. You can see it wants to pop up, but not sure it'll cross through. It looks like it has a little more time to set up after that big dip. And TTD, that good old trade desk right here, back at 53. They have earnings coming up May 8th next week. And that's trying to get in. It's been in the channel. It's trying to get moving again. And you can see it's just trying to set back up. It was running up, pulling back. And we'll have to wait for that curl up on TTD right here. And we get a better look. And yeah, it's just in that channel. I think it does have to get set up a little bit better. But I think they're all pretty good ones that are going to be getting set up right here. Adobe's looking pretty good right there. I would say Adobe wants to run up some. So let's keep an eye on Adobe. Yeah, I'd say Adobe's not looking bad. ADBE. So we'll look at that one tomorrow morning, see if that one wants to run up some more. It was up a little bit today. So there you go with good old Adobe ADBE. And thank you, Luis Rodriguez. And how about that TQQQ? That is your Pro Shares Ultra Pro QQQ 3 times, and that thing is not looking bad. It's just flat, making a base, but another one wants to curl up, it looks like. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one. And doesn't look bad right there. But how about your QQQ right here? And I mean, look at that thing hitting the 50. They're all like hitting the 50, making a base. It says it went way up in the after hours right there. So that's good. And yeah, that thing did pop up right there. So look at that. SPXC right there. Or SPX something. What is it? SPCX? No. X, whatever it is. S, that's it. Couldn't even think of it. But here it is, the Bear 500. And I mean, it doesn't look great to try to go back up yet. It's trying to make a base right here, but it could, you know how they stair step down. They level down, so that could very well be doing that right there. So we'll be watching them. AZTR, I think we looked at that one, and it was looking really good, right? Yeah, blue collar. And that one was looking pretty good right there, I must say. And LC Die, let's look at NVX and see what that's doing right here. NVX, let's see. It's just a little bit of pullback. I'd probably wait for it to get into this lower, like into the 108, maybe 110 area. NVX, it's at 113. It's nothing crazy, but it does look like it wants to pull back as it comes down and rolls off the MACD. So, and we know that pattern. We've been following that pattern for a while now. So we definitely know that. Pfizer crushed their earnings with a profit of 92 cents, which was a 26-cent beat with an upside. Wow, that's pretty good. And JOB, let's look at that one. I'm familiar with that one. I know that one. G Group. Couldn't think of it, but I know I'm familiar with it. And it's just kind of pulling back right there and trying to make a base. We'll see when it wants to get set up right here. I just wrote G. Job, JOB. And yeah, we'll see if it wants to get cruising right there. It's just been kind of running down. We'll see when it definitely wants to be set up. And Kids looks bottomed. Yeah, we've been looking at that one, KIDZ. We've definitely been all over this. We were looking at it when it was down here, as a matter of fact, at like 104. And it was looking pretty good, and it is looking pretty good. So we've been watching this each day, and we'll see if it can get cruising, a little healthy pullback. I mean, it was up today, but it looked like it had like a little bit of healthy pullback, but trying to roll up there. So we have been watching that one there, Justin, and DNN. We talked about that, but you said you're waiting for 144. And let's see, right there's probably, let's see, right about there. I mean, let me see if I see any crazy indicators. Honestly, I think DNN isn't really waiting for the 144. I think you're more or less waiting to see if it pulls back into here and then gets cruising up. So I think it's perfectly fine. It's just waiting for that 20 and 50 to get meet up there, and then it'll be really good. So there you go. And SLN is high for a drop. So let's see. I know we looked at it, and it wasn't looking bad. As that was that Pfizer or that Silence one. Yeah, that's not looking bad. If it gets over that 50, it's going to run up a little bit more right there. So, and what's Lilly Ellie doing, since we're talking about big pharma? And LLY Lilly Ellie right there. That thing's been running up. Remember, we were looking at this way down here. Holy cow, that thing ran way up there, and it's continuing to run up. So yeah, it was in the basement. I remember we were looking at it, and LLY had definitely gone up big time. Holy cow. I wasn't even watching it, but it looks pretty good too to run up some more. So there you go with that one. And you said OCEA is an energy company. Well, we don't really look at these things for long term. We're just looking at it for a pop. So to me, that thing's looking pretty, trying to get set up. So that's what we look at. We're definitely not looking at any of them for a long term. That's for damn sure. Especially in this market, I don't think you want to be looking at anything really long. I don't know why it's not popping up. Just the warrants are anyway. But yeah, it's and the warrants aren't exactly always the same. But yeah, you can see it's definitely not the same. Anyway, regardless, it's this one is in the basement trying to curl up, and I'm telling you that's not looking bad. I'll be keeping an eye on that one for sure. And how about Caterpillar? We looked at that. Was that last night? I don't even remember. But it did run up today. It had to have been yesterday, right? Last night we were looking at it, and I was talking about Caterpillar, and yeah, it did run up today. And look at that, 306 to 319, down to 292, and it's back at 308. Not looking bad there. So might want to keep an eye on your good old Caterpillar right there. And let's see. Let's go with let me see if I see anything else. Yeah, canopy growth and weed. Um, I'm telling you, these ones obviously we catch the poppers, so you're gonna this 20 and 50 meet up, it's gonna probably roll up there, so watch for a little pullback into that area, and then yeah, you'll be getting cruising again. So again, that's all we look for. We're not looking at any of these as any kind of investment. You're not looking at anything in the market right now for a long term because you don't even know where the bottoms are. So if anything, you're just playing the quick poppers for sure. So that's all we always do. Um, Poly market should offer a trade on. You're not kidding. That's the craziest thing. I can't believe that guy's still in jail. It's pretty wild. So I don't look at any earnings reports. Michael Anthony, I stay away from them. I trade right around the earnings and I don't look at anything except for a stock chart. So that's all I look at. And yeah, I don't look at anything, no news and no anything. Nothing matters to me. And I've proved it a million, thousand, trillion times. I know that's not even a number, but you guys know none of it matters. It's only about stock charts. That's the only thing that matters. We picked everything. I've literally picked the election, when the first Trump assassination occurred, days before that happened. What else have I? Bombings, just stock charts, 100%, 150, 500%, thousands, 8,000 percenters in 10 days. I've done everything you could ever imagine in the market, and it's all just from stock charts. And that's it. I don't look at anything else. Everything else, nothing matters. I just enjoy looking at the names of the companies now, and it's kind of entertaining to say the least because again, I suffered a brain injury and I just can't read well. So I know it's probably sound. I mean, I destroy everything I read, so it's just funny and it's just more entertaining, and you guys get a good kick out of it because I always do. I know my wife does. I butcher like every word. It's crazy. So yeah, I don't look at any of it, especially now. But there you go. And yeah, if I'm looking at Pfizer and you're talking about it, I'm just looking right here. I'm like, earnings mean nothing to me. That 50 right there, there's your resistance at 25, and you'll be coming back down. So yeah, none of it matters, to be honest with you. We already know the pattern that they run. They've been running the exact same pattern no matter what happens. So I have a better shot of picking the earnings. Just looking at the chart, to be honest, rather than trying to figure out what their earnings do. Look at Tesla the other day. It dropped. It missed earnings by like 75%, and it still popped up like crazy. Chart was set up to run, and that's all I guess that mattered. So, yeah, that's all that I mean. Just look at Microsoft, for example. I mean, what was I saying the other day? I was saying, the rest of them didn't look great. Microsoft looked really good. Look at it; it's up $27 in the after hours. I mean, I wasn't. Their earnings meant nothing to me, guys. You guys know that. I I was like, oh, they have earnings. I didn't play it because they had earnings. Luis Rodriguez loaded up on contracts. He was like dying to sell them. He can't wait for the market to open tomorrow at 9:30. He's like, damn, can we? I don't get it either. Why you can't trade options in the after hours? It would make way more sense. But it's only like 9:30 to 4, and that's all they do. And so yeah, he's loaded up on them, and they're going to be nice ones right there, up $27. So you better believe he's going to be selling them bad boys. And so yeah, that's all I did was look at the chart. I had no idea what the earnings were going to do. It meant nothing to me. And it looks like Luis Rodriguez played it because the chart looked good. I'm not going to lie. So that's what we do. And we do it every single night here at 9 p.m. and 7 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, I don't really look at earnings. news. I mean, nothing. The most news I look at is right here. I read you these 5 news stories, and that's the most news I see. And I see people post stuff on social media accounts that I follow that I know I can trust. When they post something, it came from a decent source. Let's put it that way. And who knows? I mean, I post stuff, and you just never even know if the source was right on anyway, because everything's, you just see it on Yahoo Finance or this one or Benzinga or whatever the hell you're looking at, and there's just nonstop, constant like news. I mean, I just said Yahoo Finance because it was there, and Benzinga, but Bloomberg or NBC, and watch this one and that and all of them. I mean, there's just a million. So you can click on here and just look. I mean, look at all the news. It's just nonstop going on. And so yeah, I don't really look at any of it, to be completely honest with you. I look at them 5 news stories. If it's not on here, I just probably don't even notice it. Oh, this one's a really good one too. I meant to write it down, guys. IVF. You definitely want to be watching this one in the morning to continue some momentum. It ran up today, but it does look pretty good. I don't know. They had some earnings that looked a little red, but I'll tell you what, the chart looks good. I don't care what anything looks like. Let's see what it looks like in the after hour. Still looks good to me. Whether the earnings were good or bad, it says the earnings were over here. I don't even know. Doesn't even matter. That said it was today. But yeah, keep an eye on this thing too. IVF. It's not looking bad right there. And it did run up there today. So we'll be watching that one as well. And let's see what else we have. Oh yeah, I was looking at Lyft right there, LYFT. And let's see what they're doing. They have earnings coming up May 8th, and I just look at it because it says that, and I tell you when they are, but it really means nothing to me. It's over there, and I would say it's pulling back to get set up. So I would have to look at it tomorrow. But Lyft right there, LYFT. Yeah, I mean, it did run up right there. It looks like it could be pulling back. How much? It could stay over to 50 to get rolled off. And again, it's rolling off that MACD. So we know that. Look, what's Uber doing right here? That was up $1.59. That one actually don't look too bad. And they have earnings coming up, and Uber looks like it could be running up some more. So you can keep an eye on Uber in the morning. Let's see. Oh, yeah, look at Uber. That looks really good right there. So Uber looks better than Lyft, I would say, at the moment. And so there you go with them guys. And let's see if I missed anything over here. And then we'll go through our laptop travel page and our ones and our Jolie's jams and them guys and see what else is going on. OCEA did go OTC, Barbara said, so that would make sense right there. It is OTC in the warrant, so yeah, it could have just went over there. And it's weird that this one's still following it, because usually as soon as they go, they drop it here. And oh yeah, they did April 23rd. They dropped. We weren't even looking at the right place. 29. So yeah, yesterday they did drop it right there. So I don't know why it says the 23rd there, but anyway, that is the 29th state. So yeah, you're right. OTC for OCEA. And let's see what else is going on real quick. Let me take a quick look and see if I missed anything. NVIN. Let's look at that one real quick. NVIN right here. What's that one? Hold on. Let me see. NVI. Let's see if that comes up over here. I don't see that one. Let me know if that one's NIVN. No, what is that? I'm not even sure. Let me know, Barbara, if that one's different. I know this one, ATPC's at a Gape one, and that one, I think, like I said before, I think we were talking about it coming back down a little bit right there to roll off. Now it's still in the top right there. I'm actually kind of surprised. So maybe it will try to bounce back up tomorrow. It's a hard one to tell right there. Looks like it wants to come down a little bit, but clearly it stayed in the top. I'm not sure why. And let me see. Well, yeah, it doesn't usually run in the top like crazy. I was just looking to see. I'd have to look at that. Remind me in the morning. We'll look at this one, see if it's moving there. It says it's up a little bit right there, 235. And if anything, I would think it's pulling back to try to roll back up, is what it would look like to me. And how about Genprex right here, GNPX? And that one does look pretty good. I would say that's a good one right there. We'll have to keep an eye on Genprex tomorrow. GNPX, that ran around 29.5 to 31. It's at like right under 29 right there. And that is looking pretty good. I'll keep an eye on GNPX and we'll see what that's up to. Looks good right there. Says it pulled back a penny. I mean, not really worrying about that. So yeah, that's not looking bad. And how about that devs? Let's see what that's up to. I know we've looked at this dev stream. I couldn't think of the name. And look at that. It just jumped up into the 20 stream right there. A little bit flat, but not too bad. And it's good you got sent that one over. And yeah, there we go. It is in the 20. It ran up. That's right. I remember it did run up not long ago, real quick. And this one does appear to be trying to set back up, guys. I would keep an eye on DEVS. And let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna. What was it? It was the NVNI. There you go. We did look at that one, and that one was jumped up there today over 100%. And I would say definitely keep an eye on that to try to keep some momentum early in the morning. I almost made the word momentum and morning one word. Morning. That's a pretty cool word. Your morning right there. That's your momentum and your morning all wrapped into one. So yeah, look for this for your morning right there. And I couldn't even remember to say that. It's tough. But anyway, your momentum in the morning. And that's NVNI right there. And it does look like it's trying to get through to 50. You know it's right there on that resistance. But obviously at 4 a.m., things like to jump like crazy. So keep an eye on it for that NVNI. And let's see what else is happening here. That green lane. And we definitely looked at it. And like I said, it definitely curled up a little bit. It did run up this morning. It was up a little bit and then pulled back right there. You can see it. And I'm going to wait for it to just make sure that it's exactly ready. And maybe we do get it under that penny like we did for Logic Mark. And wouldn't that be a beauty if that goes under that penny and sets up? And Logic Mark does look way better than it looks right there, because in the after hours it turned itself green right before the end of the night and got curled up there. So tomorrow's looking pretty good for Logic Mark. It was flat. It was flat for a reason today, guys, just because it didn't want to really pull back hard. AGMH did the same thing the other day. That's why I kept comparing it to the last night and kind of showing you what was going on. And you can see this one jumped once it got into the 20. It finally ran up and it still spiked up even higher, but pulled back. And again, this one still might curl back up. So these things are running up really well. And we'll obviously be watching them. And here we go. Let's do our laptop travel list. I think I did get through all that. And let's see. Just taking a quick look. But yeah, I think I did. And if I missed anything, please let me know. But I think I got to everything. So let me go ahead and look at our laptop travel list, which is always a great little list right there that tells you pretty solid easy ones in the channel. ABOS, I don't know if we've ever looked at this one recently, but that's running up really well, and probably one that you could look at in the morning right there. Look at that thing crawling up, hitting the 50, 107 to 116 at 113, and not looking bad for ABOS. And ACET, that was up 3 cents, and that one doesn't look bad. Let's see what that after hours looks like right here. ACET, another one doesn't look bad. So there's two of them looking pretty good in that AKAN. We've looked at this plenty of times, and that was up 12 cents, 10%. We looked at it the other night. Laptop Travel had it on the list as it was approaching the 20. So you can see what they do when they get in the channel. Some of them run up faster, and when they spike up like that, you have to be paying attention, because you catch that quick spike and they come back down and set you up for another opportunity. Again, these things move very fast, so you have to be on point with them and be paying attention. AURA looks great. This thing's jumping up there, and I'd say that one's one to keep an eye on for tomorrow. Looking like that, I would definitely say keep your eye on AURA. And how about that BNZI? We were looking at this the other day. I think Barbara was looking at it, if I remember correctly. BNZI. And let's see. It is a lowdown one on that 20, it's coming back just a little bit right there, but that could get set up. So definitely keep that one on the list and a close eye on it. Sinai, this one had run up big the other day, and that looks like it's trying to get set back up. So again, guys, these things are running way up and then pulling back and then curling back up off that MACD. And it's exactly the look and the pattern that we've known for a while. So it's honestly kept us just cruising along this crazy market at ease right now. So that's DRMA, and that thing looks really good, up what 8 cents today, down a little bit in the after hours, but again, just running into that 20 like all of these are, right into that channel. And how I remember looking at this Werewolf Therapeutics when we were first doing the show. I remember this guy, and look at that thing making a nice base on that 20, and it could go howling up there a little bit to the 50. So keep your eye on HOWL. Again, just a great list right here. JTAI, Jet AI is one that we were familiar with. And let's see, this one jumped all around and looks pretty good to jet up some more. So that is JTAI. And look at that thing. It's 405 to 632. It's at 396. I'd have to look at it. I knew something was weird with that thing. This said its high was 420 right there. So I'm not sure. It must have ran the after. I have no idea because this thing tracks the morning, but it definitely did look a little strange to me. And it says it ran way up there. So I would look at that JTAI, Jet AI, I mean JTAI. I'll look at that tomorrow. It did run way up there, so I have to get a better idea. And how about LGCY Legacy Education? That one looks really good. Was running up today. A little bit of pullback there in the after hours, but not looking bad, I must say. And how about Maxon? Remember this guy, Maxon Solar? This was a nice popper before. And let's see, we haven't looked at this in a while. MAXN, at least I haven't. Maxon, they had a gray earnings. I haven't seen a gray earning in a while either. I'm not sure what they mean, but it is trying to get set back up right here. So let's keep an eye on this Maxon, MAXN. That was a good one from before. It run up really well. MNDR, Mobile Health Network Solutions. And let's see, it's up 14 cents, down a little bit, trying to jump into that 20 area. Look at that curl up right there. Pretty nice. MNDR, let's see. MNDR. If I could type tonight, it would help. Yeah, I ran up yesterday and today. And it's just a little bit of pullback. I look at that tomorrow to get a better idea. And let's see, OBIO, I think that's what it says. And that thing's not looking bad. Look at that thing jumping up. It did run up in the orchestra today, Orchestra Biomed, and see if it wants to hit a higher note tomorrow. An OVID right here. That thing's just in the channel, a little bit of pullback, but nothing real crazy for OVID. And let's see, PCSA. And that's in your channel, just kind of cruising up right there. And let's look at SBET real quick. And there you go. That's curling up, not looking too bad. And SCPH. And another one. So, yeah, solid list all the time. And just a bunch of good ones that are in the channel. This one's just hitting the 20. A little bit of pullback, nothing crazy. SLDB. And there you go. Look at that. Trying to curl up and pop up off of there. And SOPH. Let's look at this guy. Sophia Genetics. And that one could come down a little bit to set up. And VIVS, I think. Hold on. VI, if I typed it in right, there you go. And that could be a good one right there. VIVS. So there you go. A ton of good ones off the laptop travel list. And look at that, up 24 cents today and not looking bad. So thank you, Laptop Travel. Always a solid list right there. And let's go right into our Jolie's Jams and look at Agrify trying to jump up off that bottom today. And it does look like it tried to bottom out. So keep an eye on Agrify to try to cruise up. And again, we'll get through the MACD. We're not sure, but it will pop up as it's curling up there. So Keep an eye for that. And our blink charging is just kind of down a little bit. It wasn't doing a whole lot today, just kind of bouncing around a little bit, 73 to 74, down to 70, up to 73. So, yeah, not doing much right there for Blink. Sezzle wasn't bad right here. And they do have options now. It's up at the top. We have to see if it wants to get in there. It says it went up in the after hour, so maybe it did. Oh, that's looking good, actually. Sezzle looks pretty good right there. And how about Sterling? That's a Sterling infrastructure, and that could be pulling back a little bit. STRL, just to roll back off the MACD, because this thing's been on it, and maybe it comes down a little and then pops back up for Sterling. And good old Rivian had been running up and ran up some more today. Doesn't look bad to run up a little bit more. And Symbotic was down a hair, but getting set up. So there you go with your Joe Lee's jams and your laptop travel list. And we're gonna just check out crypto. Bitcoin's down a little at 94,700. Ethereum's at 1,812. Solana is at 149, and Ripple's at 220 right there. Cardano's at 69 cents. And let's see, H bar's at 18 and Chainlink's at 1462. And let's see what else we're looking at. Ripple is at 220. So let's just take a quick look. And again, I can do this and then go on here, and then we can get Bitcoin and a couple of the big guys. They don't have them all, but they have most of the big guys right here. You can see, and there we go. And then I just have to make it into that one, and I think we're money right there. So let's take a look and see what's going on. They are setting up, guys. We could have a little bit of pullback right there as they are getting set up to roll off, but I would say crypto is not looking bad. Look at it. You can see a little bit of pullback as it's trying to roll off. They are all showing the same thing. So, yeah, look at that. Ethereum looking pretty good to get cruising right there. And how about Solana? That's looking pretty good as well. So I think we're looking pretty good as far as crypto, and we've liked it for the last few, probably week or two, maybe even longer. But look at Solana getting rolled up right there. And I forget what ETF was at. Let me look real quick. Was it at like a 5.5? I forget where it was. To be completely honest, I have to look. I really don't even remember. 5.5, I think it was at. And let's see, I have to refresh it to see what's going on here. And while we're waiting for that, we'll look at Ripple and see what's going on with XRP right here. Good old Ripple. And I think we have Ripple right there. And so, yeah, there's Ripple just pulling back a little bit, but nothing crazy. Like I said, these things are looking pretty good. So I would have to say, yeah, look at that thing right there. And then good old Ripple. Look at these things getting set up. So, oh, come on. Why is this thing taking forever? So yeah, I think crypto, a little bit of pullback. If we see a little pullback, and then we start rolling back up again. And I'm not sure what's up with the deck screener because it's just not doing anything. So let me see. I tried to refresh it and hit go like 10 times. Let me see if a different page will work there. Hold on. I'm not sure what's going on. Does it say 5.2? I don't know if that's even current. I have no idea what the ETF is at because the thing's just keeps going around, not telling me anything. It just keeps refreshing. So not sure what it is. The deck screener is just taking forever. And let me see something. Yeah, I don't have the yeah, I have the Y. I don't have the Y. I don't use the Wi-Fi ever. And I was just making sure it's off. It seems like it works way better when it's not on, even when I'm at my house. But anyway, I'm not sure what it's at. It's at 5.1 actually. It came down a little bit. So it's just under 5.2 market cap, 5.2 million. I wonder if that dude was selling more. I'll have to look. I didn't get a chance to look. Yep, he just did. 16 minutes ago, as a matter of fact. Let's see. Somebody just sold a ton of it. Pretty crazy. Now I gotta look. Let's see. They have 1.6. This person still has 1.16 million left. So somebody just sold a bunch. And what's in their account right here? Their account's not too crazy on this one. So yeah, I'm not sure who this one is. But there's a big sell right there. Yeah, they didn't have that much though, so I'm not sure what happened there, but that definitely made it pull back a little bit. And I'm telling you, it's like always perfectly timed out. $5,000 sell 16 minutes ago, and that'll definitely make it pull back. So there you go. Someone just sold one, and that's all you're seeing. You're seeing like these big buys, big sells. It's pulling it up and down. And I think pretty sure Farcoin did that as it started getting crazy. You just get these wows in here that just get crazy, and they put a lot in. And thank you, Laptop Travel, right there. Big sells at 9 a.m. and 11 p.m. today. So there you go. Well, it's 10:30 my time, but might be your time right there. But yeah, no, there was big sells. I just saw it. And I'm telling you, there's just these giant sells. The one guy had been selling a ton. We talked about it anyway, so don't need to go into that. Let's just go right into our big caps and see what's going on. We just did our crypto, and it's not looking bad. Just a little bit of pullback, and I do like that. We have our RSI and MACD right there. That definitely helps out big time, I must say. So I do like that, and blow them up, and I can see really well. And boom, there we go. That's a beauty. So I do like that. That's for sure. And let's go ahead and hit our SPY and all them guys. If I type it in right, we'll see it did close up. It was down yesterday, and Microsoft's way up today. And let's just see. Oh, you know what we can see? Oh, this is going to be great right here. Bam, we can see this one. And let's see. Boom. And we can add the MACD. Watch this. I don't even want that thing, but whatever. There we go. Boom. Look at that. That's awesome, guys. Look at that. Oh, the VIX is way down there. Like it wants to kind of curl back up soon. And that 20 is way over it. We'll be keeping an eye on it because it does look like it's going to dip down a little bit more right here. And that is the VIX saying that the SPY would be going up some. So that's what it looks like. It's just sitting right there. And it does look like it wants to come down some. So interesting right there. But we'll be keeping an eye on that now that we have that look. And let's see our SPY. Yeah, I mean, it does look like it could come down a little bit, but it looks pretty sturdy right there. I mean, so we'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, we'll be going through them in the morning at 7 a.m. as always. But Apple was up a little bit, and don't they have earnings tomorrow or next day or something? May 1st. That will be tomorrow. So yeah, tomorrow we will be seeing some earnings from Apple right here. So we'll see how that goes. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think that they're going to get crazy, but again, we'll have to look at them tomorrow and see how they're looking before they roll in. This thing's changed so fast. Amazon right here, don't they have their earnings too? Tomorrow as well. So Apple, Amazon both have earnings tomorrow, and I'll put an E right there, an E right there, an E right everywhere. We know Google already have them. And again, it's hard to tell with Amazon. I'll take a look at tomorrow. Google went up when it had them, and it did pull back. And again, it looks like it's going to curl back up, not looking too bad right there. And we know they play in that channel, and that's exactly what goes on. Then they roll off the MACD. So that's what Google looks like. And good old Meta, then they have their earnings today, didn't they? Yes, they did. And I'm not sure it is green, but I have no idea what happened there. Oh, it went up big in the after hours for Meta, so I guess they were pretty good because that went way up there. So we'll see what it does as it hits that 50 tomorrow. It'll probably hit it early in the morning, and we'll see if it continues. Obviously, if the entire market's going to be green, these things will be moving just as Microsoft was jumping up in the after hours, like I said. And look at that. That thing was looking good. And there you go. Boom, Microsoft looking nice. And how about NVIDIA right here was up a little bit in the after hours as well. And it is just a little bit flat, but let me see what it's doing. NVDA. And yeah, it does look pretty good hitting that 50. So yeah, maybe they will be popping up some more. And I guess they do look pretty decent at the moment. And of course, we'll be going through them at 7 a.m. on the pre-market show, as we always do. But let's just see what Tesla was doing. It was down $9 today. And remember, I was saying it's getting set up. Look at it for right in this 260 or some area right there. So we'll see if it pulls back a little bit more. But I'll tell you what, this thing's getting set up. And I told you it was getting not off this line, but when this one and this one meet, it's really going to be set up right around here. So I'm not sure what day that'll be, but probably next week, as tomorrow's Thursday. And yeah, it's going to be wild. So Tesla's looking pretty good. And AMC right here. Let's see what it's doing. It actually pulled back a little bit right there. They do have earnings coming up next week or sometime. AMC next week at some point, and that almost looks like a little dip and rip look. So we'll keep an eye for that. GameStop was looking good; it's up right there. Chewy was looking good, and that was up, and so is Unity, but that had dipped down there. And was that a nice dip down there today? It looks like so. We might have to keep an eye on good old Unity right here because that one did dip down, and we'll see it try to roll back off. So that wasn't looking too bad. But actually, on that chart right here, you could kind of see it was starting to pull back. And then obviously it did pull back there. So had a little bit of the look, but not exactly the whole look. And it did pull back on there for Unity. And let's look and see what Netflix is doing. That's way up over 1100. And there you go. I was saying be careful. It was in the top, but clearly wants to run up there a little bit. So there you go for Netflix. And let's look at our semiconductors because they were cruising in the after hours and they have been looking good. And boom, look at these things. They look like they really want to run right there. AVGO and MU was looking pretty good in the after hours as well. TSM, that had looked good already. It was up today and then ran up some more in the after hours. And SMCI was down today, and we'll see if it does want to try to bounce tomorrow. So keep an eye on it, SMCI. And again, they've like hid their earnings and all kinds of shit. But anyway, their earnings are coming out. Is it May 6th, I believe. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it is May 6th right there. So we'll see what happens. And with the good old SMCI and AMD right here up a little bit and not looking bad, I must say. And how about QCOM? That's been looking good. Oh, that took a big dip in the after hours, huh? They had their earnings, didn't they? And again, look, they had a surprise of something. I don't know. They look good to me. It looks like it's green, but QCOM came down. It was looking pretty good. And look, just right down to the 20. Could roll right back up, guys. So might not be anything crazy, but it did pull back in Intel. That's why I don't play the earnings. They just confusing as hell. And we can now everything in between it anyway and all around it. So why even bother wasting our time? And the Intel right here, let's take a look at that. That's just kind of pulling back to roll off the MACD there. So you know that pattern look, you can see it. And let's take a look and see what's happening over here with PayPal. That was down a little bit in the channel. It looks like they had their earnings yesterday. Nothing real crazy right there. And let's see, Snow. This one was coming down and that ran way up. It had been looking good. And I guess that's why it looked good because it ran way up in the after hours. And it looks like it's going to continue its way up for SNOW. And how about Dell right here? And that thing looks like it's trying to cruise up. It was pulling back, but looks good. Palantir was up today, and that thing keeps going up there, and it's getting back to its all-time highs. And Sophie wasn't looking too bad. It was a little bit of pullback there to the 50, but I think you're going to get moving again with Sophie. And good old Mara and Riot, they were down a little bit, but I'm telling you, these things are getting set up. Look at that setup. Riot has its earnings coming up. Is that tomorrow? Yes, it is. So there you go. And there you are with Marit and Riot. And let's see what that Clean Spark is doing right here. Down a little bit. And another one. Look at that setup trying to roll off the MACD looking good. And good old MicroStrategy. When I type it in right, it was moving. It was down a little bit, actually. It was moving some today. He has earnings coming up tomorrow. I could pull back right there just a hair and then get cruising. So that's what MicroStrategy looks like at the moment. Obviously, we'll take a better look at it tomorrow morning. And let's see what Coinbase and Hood are up to. Coinbase was down just trying to get set up, but it looks like it was trying to roll back up. And the same with Hood. And both of them look pretty good right there, I must say. And DJT down just a little bit, but look at that thing trying to get set up. Fun was trying to get set up. It's just sitting right there. So the market's not looking terrible, guys. And Mountain, this thing's been not the best. So, and McDonald's was up today, but has its earnings. Haven't really paid attention to McDonald's earnings tomorrow. And it's hitting that resistance. Not even sure what it wants to do right there. But how about Boeing right here? It was just kind of hanging out in that little channel. It does look like it wants to get over that resistance for whatever reason. So we'll look at that. And how about space? This one hasn't even been bad lately. IBM, that was up a little bit today. It's hitting some resistance. So we'll have to see if it gets through that area. And let's see what Disney's doing right here. And like I said, guys, anytime it's under like that, under in the 90s or 80s, Disney's usually good to get back to 95 or 100. So just keep an eye on that one. And good old Oxy was down, and ExxonMobil both have the same look. And Nike right here is down a little bit. It did pull back, and DXYZ right there was down 90 cents, and that's getting set up. And there you go, everybody. And let's see what ARM is doing. That's another good semiconductor right here. And that actually looks really good as well, ARM. So let's keep an eye on that one. Yeah, that one looks good. And PZZA, let's see what that's doing real quick. Oh, that's Papa John's, and that's actually not looking too bad right there. Their earnings are coming up next week, and it does look like it's trying to run up some before their earnings. So you can keep an eye on that to try to run up some more tomorrow. It doesn't look bad right there. And how about that Deckers Outdoor? That actually does look good. Good call on that right there, Luis Rodriguez. I think that DECK might be a good opportunity. Looking pretty good. It's been way down, and it looks like it ran its course. It's getting to be in that channel right there. That bottomed out, and it does look like it's going to try to curl up and has a lot of room right there for good old DECK. So that one could be good. Amazon's up 3.42% in the overnight, and the UVIX is down. You said, right? Is down almost 5% right there. So there you go. Holy cow, my mouse just fell off the table. That was funny. Anyway, so there you go. That's the long VIX futures right here. So that is down. And there you go with them bad boys. And let's see what's going on. 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. are big sells right there. So, yeah, I was on the ETF 500. And let me see what else is going on. I think I got everything right there. Let me see if I missed anything over here. And there we go. I think we got it all. Let me just take a look at the scanner and all that good stuff real quick. We'll cruise through that, and then we'll get ready and see what's going to happen. And then we'll be ready for our 7 a.m. show tomorrow. So those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, greatly appreciate it. Go ahead, follow along on X and YouTube. And we do a show every night, 9 p.m., every morning at 7 a.m. We do the pre-market show, and tonight's the market review really and see what's going to be popping in the morning. Those of you that trade at 4 a.m. on Webull and a couple other platforms, you'll know what's popping. So that's a great it's great to listen to the show, especially if you trade them early morning hours, because we always know what's going on. And here we go. Let's just see what's happening over here. The stock market news, the S&P 500 rallies into close, and the GDP data shows economy contracting. Tesla board opens search for a CEO to succeed Elon Musk. And that's kind of weird. And S&P 500 stock futures rise as after Microsoft and Meta post earnings beats, and U.S. futures extend Wall Street's gain on tech results, and Meta's blowout earnings show why investors shouldn't sweat a boost to AI spending. So there you go with them guys. Let's see if we see anything over here. Our logic marks right there, PTPI and NVNI and Green Lanes, WW. I mean, we've been so all over the market lately. It's been insane. We've known everything going on, everything popping. This did pop up. Jeff Brands, remember him? He jumped up like pretty good today. IVF, I'm telling you, keep an eye on that. And AGMH right there. This one's been running up. ABEV, we've talked about it before. American Airlines, I'm telling you guys, keep an eye on these guys. These airline ones, they look like they want to run. So I would be watching the airlines, see what goes on with these things, and maybe they have like a bow wow happen or something. I don't even know. They're not in the best shape, but all of them are setting up to do something right here. So we're keeping an eye on that for sure. And let's see that DNN and everything else. GCTK ran up, came back down. DGLY, that big bear was up the other day. So, yeah, I mean, we basically know exactly what's going on in the market. And let me just see IVF. I'm telling you guys, keep an eye on that thing tomorrow. It should be moving, especially Morning Crew and Octo right there we talked about. And, yeah, we just basically covered everything, I would say. And what's this thing doing? HLP right here does not look bad. I don't even know what just happened to the Trend Spider. Did I just X out of it? I think I might have. I'm not even sure, but let's see. I think I did. There we go. Yeah, I might have. What was it? HLP right here. And this thing is cruising around right there, jumping around. Might be one to look at right there. Steel in China. It might be a steel in China. I don't know, but it does steel in China, HLP. So keep an eye on that thing. Could be cruising there. And there you go. I would say we probably got everything under control and looked at. And let me just see if I see anything else going on. And there's a bunch of green buys for oh, that was all the way down there. But yeah, 5.2 market cap for the ETF. And let me see if anything else grabs my attention real quick. That Tesla is down. Palantir is up to like 120 right now, it looks like. So that was up. And Microsoft, Meta, ALT we looked at. What's this TDOC? I don't even know what that is real quick. Teladoc Health. They had earnings today, and it's just sitting right there. I'd have to look at it. Looks like it's down a little bit. And what is WGS? Gene DX, that's way down. That's a nice dip right there. Keep an eye on that one. And how about this one? I think we had this one on the list, and this one popped way up there over 100%, RGLS. And I'm pretty sure that's a laptop travel special right there. So there you go with that. ARM has come a long way. Remember they had that lawsuit with QCOM or something like that before, and they lost. And then it still went up. JetBlue, yeah, look at that thing. I'm telling you guys, these airlines are looking good. JetBlue looking good right there. So keep an eye on them airlines. They're beaten down. And there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty good market review right there. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And tune in every night at 9 p.m., every morning at 7 a.m. We'll do our Jolie's jumpers, our laptop lowdowns, and cover our SPY, big caps, crypto, and everything else that's popping. You'll know what's going on in the market, that's for sure. So there you are, everybody. Greatly appreciate it, like I said. And go ahead, follow along on X and YouTube. If you're not following along, you'll see the links all the time that pop up. And then again on X, you'll see the watch list because I post it out every night. And it is basically just a watch list compiled of people, what you guys want to see. I ask every day, hey, what stock ticker should we look at tonight? And we do bring a couple over from the previous night, but everybody contributes a lot of great ones. And then as we do the show, we get a ton of great ones and all kinds of things popping. So thank you, everybody, like Stocking Up for Future, Luis Rodriguez, Janica, and Laptop Travel, Blue Collar Teamster, Melissa, and Sam. There's so many good people on there. Deep Soul Diving, and obviously Barbara and Justin, Michael Anthony, a bunch of posts. and a bunch of other people on there, Doge Mama 9, and so many other people. Like I said, it's great. So greatly appreciate it. Everybody, Mac the Cranky Cook, he's always on there. Nader's on a lot, and everybody else. So yeah, thanks everybody. I appreciate it. And like I said, we'll see you guys at 7 a.m. So have a great night, everybody. Yeah, there's been some crazy good playoff hockey on too. So if you guys like hockey or good playoffs hockey, it's been pretty good lately. There's always a bunch of games on every night. So you can tune into that as well. And we'll obviously be covering the market tomorrow. And we're going to be looking at our logic mark first thing in the morning because it did close up right there. It is looking good. And like I said, there's a big channel right there. So even if it runs half that channel, it's a huge run. And we will be keeping an eye on that and everything else. And once again, if you go to the Forex or the futures or the crypto or anything like that, we'll just look at it. You can bring up the MACD and RSI right there. You just got to click the interactive right there on the FinViz, and that would be the settings. So had to learn about that, but yeah, it's going to make a huge difference, I would say, because I always wanted that to be on there and I could never do it, but now it's there. And of course, our trend spider is amazing. So there you go, everybody. Awesome market review. And thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great night, everybody. And again, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And I will catch you guys at 7 a.m. So have a good night, and I'll see you guys in the morning.